Hello, welcome or welcome back to this channel. I just did a little name change for the channel. It used to be Brenda Robles, which is my name, but now I changed it to Brenda Buzzes Over Books. I really wanted something to reflect book reviews I've been doing recently, which I plan on continuing. So that's the name. We'll see if I change it. I don't think I will, but we'll see. You never know. But for this video, I will be talking about the graphic novels of Creepy Cat. I finished the series. In my previous video, I had covered Volume 1. And for this video, I'll be talking about Volume 2, 3, and 4. One of those is my favorite, I will tell you that. And also there's a character I do not like. I don't know if I talked about this character in my previous video, my dislike about them. But I do in this one. I certainly do. Yeah, and I will also be talking about a different book called The Vanishing Half by Bennett. And that'll be all for this video. Those are all my book reviews. I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. Let's talk about it. I read Creepy Cat, Volume 2 by Valent. Yes. So I did like this volume more than Volume 1 by a little bit. And okay, well, for anybody that doesn't know, Creepy Cat follows Miss Flora right here. I believe she inherited a mansion or bought this mansion, I don't remember, but within it there is this cat, Creepy Cat, this little cat right here, and she decides to befriend him, and he is a very peculiar cat. Has abilities no other cat has. Like, perhaps this isn't actually a cat, it's just some other being in the form of a cat. But I don't know, we're gonna find out more about that. And within, that was like mostly Volume 1, right? Volume 2, she has gotten along with Creepy Cat, and she's just, trying to figure out how he fits in her life, making things work. She wants to make sure Creepy Cat is comfortable, and I feel like that's a lot of what's happening in this. Other plots that we have is Mr. Oscar, somebody that went to high school with her, is crushing on her hard, and yeah, I don't really like Mr. Oscar. In this volume, we find out he's a bit of a creep, and I really hope he never gets with Miss Flora. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Mr. Oscar. Yeah, so that's one little plot about it. There's also the plot of people looking for Creepy Cat. There's, like these two detectives or something that they say that they look for paranormal stuff or something. But yeah, they're trying to find Creepy Cat. And yeah, so that's kind of an ongoing thing, people trying to find Creepy Cat. And let me see, was there any other plots? I think those are the main two, but what I really like about this volume is that we got new characters, one of them being Dracula, and I very much enjoy Dracula's interactions with Creepy Cat. That is my favorite part of seeing Dracula in this book. And I also really enjoyed getting to meet Miss Flora's friends. I'm excited to see more of them, especially because they also have pets that are like Creepy Cat. And up to this point, I thought, because we have seen other cats like Creepy Cat, I thought it was just a cat form, but I guess they can take more forms. So I am excited to see more about that. And I also am excited to see more about the ghosts that are in this book. I want to know their backstory. I wonder if that is ever going to be told. And let me see if there's anything else I'm missing. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned it, but something that I liked about this volume more than Volume 1 is that scenes were actually played out. It was continuous. let's say Miss Flora is talking to Mr. Oscar, we get like 5 pages of that or something. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But compared to volume 1, you would get 2 if you were lucky, and then we jump to something else and don't go back to that. So I didn't like the whole jumping all the time. Yeah, sorry if you could hear that noise. It's my nephew. But yeah, I like more continuity, or how do you say that? Yeah, I don't know. It's not coming to me. But I like it to be very continuous. Yeah, and I think that's about it. And also, at this point, I don't feel that invested in this series. Like, there's moments that I do enjoy, but if I had not checked out volume 2, 3, and 4 at the same time from the library, I don't think I would have read, I would think I would have stopped at this point. But yeah, I have checked them out, so I'm gonna finish it. I have decided. Volume 3, Creepy Cat by Cotton Valent, is my favorite so far. I wish all of the volumes were like this. If they were, I would have loved this series even more. By this time, I already read Volume 3 and Volume 4, just so you know. But this is my favorite. Like, we would have been onto something if they were all like this. At least for me, in my experience, my opinion. Yeah, so one of the things I really liked about this volume is that it had a clear storyline. We knew what the characters were going through, what was the goal, what was the obstacle. We had a clear antagonist, and I was introduced to my favorite creepy cat, which is a cat centipede. And I will show you a little clip of it after this review. He's adorable, and he's such a sweetheart. So yeah, I love that little creepy cat centipede. Its name is Coffee. I don't know if I said that already. Anyway, I am still not a fan of Mr. Oscar. And when I read this, I was like, I hope he does not get what he wants in the sense of a romantic relationship with Miss Flora. They can stay friends. That's it. Yeah, that's where I was while reading this. Yeah, I really love this, even though I didn't get to see more of what I wanted to see when I finished Volume 2, which was more of Miss Flora's friends, more of Dracula, wanted to find out about the ghosts. Even though I didn't get much of that, I was still really like this volume. It was really fun. The stakes were high, and there's cute, funny moments. And yeah, it was good. Let me see if I'm missing anything else. So in this volume, you also find out that Miss Flora has some special abilities, and I won't say what that is. But yeah, so that made things like pretty exciting. Yeah, and I don't know, should I say my prediction? Okay. I'll say my prediction. This is a bit of a spoiler, so I'll skip ahead to this time right here. Alright, giving you a little bit of time to look at it and then skip ahead. Alright, I think that's enough time, so. Yeah, one of my predictions was that Miss Flora created Creepy Cat and she just doesn't remember, like she did it when she was younger, or one of her ancestors did. So that was like my little theory, my little prediction, and yeah, that was pretty cool, like if that were to be reality. Anyway, that was it. That was my little kind of spoiler alert. Yeah, so now I'll show you guys the cat centipede, the beloved Coffee. This is Coffee. Adorable. Look at him. He's all sad right there. He's a cutie. So like in the scene, he transforms himself into a keyboard to make Mr. Oscar happy. And Mr. Oscar just can't do it because of like trauma. And yeah, look at him, consoling him. Cute. To say the rating, I rated this a 3 out of 5 stars, in which you might have already read in the beginning when I put the little title and stuff. But if you didn't, 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah, this is the best volume, just so you know. Alright, so volume 4, Creepy Cat, by Cotton Valent. Yeah, so it was cute. It was a cute little wrap up for the series. Yeah, it was like just like checking in on the characters, you know? I wish I had a little bit more interesting moments for me, but it was still cute. I just feel if I would have fallen in love with these characters, I would have enjoyed this wrap up much more. And I say that because the show that has nothing to do with this book, the show called The Owl House, which is on Disney Plus. You guys should check it out. It's really good. Anyway, I loved the characters, and at the very end, when they have like credits and all that, it's like the camera panning to all of these characters. It's been like a few years later, right? They're a little bit more grown up, and yeah, you get to check in with them, you know, seeing them go about their days and interact with each other. And it's really cute and really sweet, and I really like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I would love another little check-in, see how they're doing. But I didn't really feel that with these characters from Creepy Cat. So I was just like, acknowledge, it's cute. It's cute, but it didn't do much for me. But one thing I did love about this, though, is that for me, it brought peace to my mind that Miss Flora will not give Mr. Oscar a chance. So I very much did like that. And the reason why I say that is the very end, he wants to ask Miss Flora out, and she just goes, so doesn't really say anything. And then we just hear him say, please, just give me a chance. I'm not so sure if he's telling Miss Flora or Creepy Cat, because Creepy Cat does not like Mr. Oscar. But Creepy Cat feels the same way I do, so yeah. And I say trust the cat, you know? Anyway, yes, I like that. And yeah, it was also very sweet to see Creepy Cat and Miss Flora's love for each other. Yeah, they're really like the perfect match as an owner and pet. Yeah, they're very sweet. So yeah, it was sweet. It was cute. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. That's what I gave this volume. But I don't know if anything I've said about it got your attention. Check it out yourself. Maybe you're gonna like it, you know? It just really wasn't for me. But yeah, in the back it says ages 10 and up. I feel like I would have absolutely loved this in 5th or 6th grade, because I remember reading things similar to those. It's like also graphic novel style, and it was about these mice detectives, I believe, and I remember liking them. And I don't think they had that much of a plot either. Maybe they did. Actually, I think they did. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, I feel like I would have loved that, though. Yeah, let me know if you've checked this out. Let me know what you think. Maybe you love it. Yeah. It just didn't leave much of an impression on me. Except Volume 3, because I really did like Volume 3 compared to the others. But yeah, Creepy Cat is cute, though. And a little funny. And creepy. Can be creepy at times. Or in that title. Alright, so I read The Vanishing Half by Bennett. This is my copy. It came with a little cover, but I took it off because I bought this at Goodwill and it was sticky. I tried to clean it, but after I cleaned it and it dried, it was like still sticky and it was bothering me, so I just took it off. So this is my copy. And I liked this book. I did. Some things that I really liked about it is the writing. For me, I think the writing was really good because I was always looking forward to picking it back up, and also anytime I opened it, I felt like I could really see everything. I guess I felt like I was taken into their world, right? Their lives. I could see it, picture it all perfectly. And yes, I thought that was great. And it's pretty impressive because the author does include a lot of different perspectives of, it follows different characters. And so I feel like that was really cool of her to have done such a good job at keeping the reader, well, me, engaged when it's following so many different people, you know? And I didn't feel like really confused or anything. The only thing, it did bug me though, because I think I might not be a fan of following different people or too many, because every time I felt really invested with the character and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to know more, I want to know what's going to happen next, I want to know more about what they're thinking, what's happening in their mind, we would jump to another person. So it's like, well, let's go look over here. And then I was a bit bitter about it, like, oh, I wanted to stay there, right? And then eventually I got invested with our new character, the new person we're following and getting to know. And I'm like, okay, let me know more. And then we jump to a different one. So that was a bit frustrating for me. Like, I feel like it could be a plus though, because it just kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. But for me, it was a little annoying. But, yeah, but I do still think it's very impressive because even with that, I still did really enjoy the book, even though I did feel like a little frustrated at times. But, yeah, also, well, I already said that it follows a lot of different characters. I didn't know that going into this book. I thought it was just going to follow the two sisters. So yeah, for anybody that doesn't know what The Vanishing Half is about, it is two sisters, they're twins, grew up in a small town, and all of the people in this town, they're all black people, but they're very light-skinned, and a lot of them seem to be very obsessed, or like, well, their preference, I don't know, I think obsessed, for their children to be light-skinned, right? So there's racism within their own community, and it also seems like everybody that lives in this town dies in this town, and the girls, they feel stuck. If you read the book, you'll find out why, what motivates them to leave. They eventually leave the town, they leave their mom behind, and they get some jobs, you know, they're trying to fend for themselves, and eventually one of the sisters gets a job at a company, and she passes for white to get the job because they wouldn't give it to a black woman. So she's passing for white for a bit, and then one day she leaves her sister. So she just abandons her sister. And so when I first picked up the book, I knew about the town, I knew about the sisters, and I knew that they separate, right? Well, one leaves, and they lead very different lives, and they eventually will get reunited. I knew that. So I did not know that we were going to also get to hear from their daughters, yeah, and like other characters too. So that was a surprise. Yeah, let me see, what else did I write about it? Yeah, but yeah, I really did enjoy my time reading this book. Like I think I said, I was looking forward to picking it back up whenever I put it down, so I think that's a good sign. And Also, I just wish we could have dived deeper into characters, like gotten to know them better, because I feel like just having so many different stories or point of views, it's hard to really get to know each one individually. Feel like I have a general idea, but yeah, I also felt like with some of the topics, also felt like little bit surface level. You know, it's just there's so much that the author wanted to put in this book, and I just feel like either if the book was longer, we could have really dived deeper into it, or if she would have focused on certain characters or certain topics more, we could have gotten more out of it. If that makes any sense. Yeah. Anyway, also the ending. I'll put a little timestamp if you want to skip ahead. So this, yeah, it's a little bit of a spoiler. Okay, here it is. Now's your chance. Alright, I'm gonna talk about it. Okay, so the ending, I did not love it when I read it at first. I was like underwhelmed, and I felt like, yeah, there's definitely a deeper meaning, but it wasn't clicking in my mind, so I had to look it up. And what I found other people talking about the ending, because is in the ending it's Jude and Reese, her boyfriend. It's right after a funeral, and they go to the river and they're undressing, and well, let me just find what it says, right? I could read you the last line. Okay. He unzipped her funeral dress, folding it neatly on a rock, and they waded into the cold water, squealing, water inching up their thighs. This river, like all rivers, remembered its course. They floated under the leafy canopy of trees, begging to forget. So that's how it ends. And I found out that, well, this is what people said, that it was supposed to be them showing that they're finally comfortable within their bodies, with themselves, their identity. And once I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, I can see that. Like, it made me appreciate the ending a little bit more, but I was still not fully satisfied, because I was like, okay, that ending does like kind of touch on, you know, the whole identity theme in the book, which is, I mean, it's different for both of them, Jude and Reese. Yeah, because Jude has been dealing with racism, and yeah, but I also wanted to know more about the family, like, because family is also a very big part of the story. Like, that part didn't seem that resolved to me, at least not how I wanted. I mean, it really does, it makes sense, the character's choices. It's just not how, I mean, obviously, wanted a happy ending, right? Probably. Yeah, but I did think it's sweet that the cousins do stay in touch. I did like that. I just I wish Stella would have been at the funeral. You know, I wish she would have stayed in touch with her sister. Yeah, but anyway, so my rating was 4 stars out of 5 stars for Vanishing. Yeah, I would recommend this book. I would say it's worth it to check it out. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you watched all the way to the end. And let me know down below, like, if you've liked any of these books, if you've read them, if you agree or disagree with me. Also, any book recommendations. I always love to hear those. So I hope you have a great day or night, whatever time you're watching this. Take care and see you soon.